I'm guessing that I'm starting to understand what people mean about not identifying with thoughts because you're not your thoughts, and so to speak. If you can't tell already, whenever I make any of these topics, whether it's actually literally about the niche that I was supposed to be doing for 5+ years, the claymation one, and then otherwise then making philosophy videos, which I don't even discount or discredit for being not necessarily philosophy speaking. Because even for me to call it abstract philosophy, which philosophy in itself is abstract anyway, so why do I call it abstract philosophy? And when you see what I actually do with the non-Plato or the non-Socrates or the non-Stoics kind of thing, it's like, oh no, he doesn't even read what he's doing. He just wings it. I can be interesting without even trying. That's one of the things. I'm easy interesting, basically, if that's a quote unquote. It's very easy for me to be interesting. It's very easy for me to have a personality. It's very easy for me to just be someone who people can respect and admire. And I take that for granted every day, but hear me out. I have been on edge for the longest time. I have been the kind of person who knows that they do everything for a reason, even if I am already lost to begin with. I could be lost. I could be completely lost. I could be someone who, as according to any cliches, 20-year-olds don't know what they're doing, or 20-year-olds never had to. I'm calling myself out at this point, but hear me out. The stereotype that you should not have to know what you're doing that young or old of an age, however perspective that's going to be, for me to be 26 and calling that out for some philosophical reason, unique or not. Whether or not it was considered that you would have been, we're already mature adults, but we still don't know what we need to be doing with our lives. It's like those weird cliches where those girls who edit on YouTube, those cursive fonts of, and even the architects do this too. I'm not calling everyone out at this point, but like, and the architects, YouTubers who use those certain size fonts, the certain YouTubers, vlogger girls and women who do those cursive fonts of, the be attractive kind of thing where you know that we don't really necessarily know anything, but we still technically know a lot because we're mature adults, but we also don't have to know anything. We have to have anything figured out. I'm that arrogant guy. I'm that arrogant guy who's like, I have certain things figured out, so I can't possibly be completely lost. I'm that one guy who says that. And do I regret that? No. It's because I'm not that girly girl who writes the cursive YouTube fonts on their vlogs, rinse and repeat. And this, not mind you guys, some of those women are unique, but it's like, that's not the point. But they are unique sometimes. Sometimes they are. But like, that's just me being a biased piece of shit. But it's like, but I am that arrogant dude who's like, no, I'm not completely lost. I do have some things figured out. And I don't have to know, I am a bit of an absent-minded person who does not have to know about his surroundings to know what he's doing. And for me to be that constantly on edge about whether I'm doing things to have fun or to survive or to thrive doing something I am passionate about, as long as it's not misunderstood as something like claymation cartoon creativity. I mean, I not I mean more like you know, the Dooms tune, whatever. Long tragedies and traumas with that. I made a video about that already, but I made more than one video about that already, about the traumas of my creativity past all that, and traumas of my life story as well. It's like, this is more of a multifaceted video in its own kind, not just for the variety content or multitasking or extroversion kind of stuff, but more of the sense, or traveling or philosophy, whatever, socializing. It's more like, if I was going to know that I was going to be 26 years since my birth being like this and being like, wow, was I ever going to not stop being hedonistic because I didn't even know how to be productive? Like, you know, is this the thing where I'm like overkill productive or overkill professional or overkill professional, overkill productive without quotations on either one of those things? Am I that on edge? Am I that on edge to be like, wait, I'm never going to relax and I still know what I'm doing? What's the point? It's like, do I ever really think I ever have fun for all the years I was both in childhood and adulthood? Or am I really that hard on myself? Am I actually legitimately hard on myself in spite of that? Or is it just that people say that because they don't know any better than I do? And they still think that I know better and I don't know better in certain ways they think I know better. You know? And I say this now with the subscriber base that I currently have being people who are consisting of various communities of their own kind. I mentioned this before, but like, out of the 72 you guys, I bet you that some of you are from different communities I engage with on purpose. I was not the kind of person who, okay, conveniently otherwise, but it was like being the kind of person I am, who was like, I'm going to join the anarchists, agorists, and then the nofap seam retentionists, and then the MGTOWs, men going their own ways, and then the tech commuters like Windows Central and anime otaku people like Brandon Reviews and the VTubers, obviously, like Amelia Watson, Gura, other stuff. The what else is there? There was the Gang Garrison 2's IRC and Carabots forums. The freaking grade schools I went to, both middle and high, and college, and then my workplace or whatever. All these various different worlds, which I will make another video about this as well. Without doctoring myself out too much, I guess. I hope I don't doctor myself out people, because I have a passion for being that crazy, unfortunately. Don't do what makes you happy as long as it doesn't hurt people. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with telling me that. No, I'll be careful though. But yeah, it just it's more like that. I should be saying this, but it's more like that. I genuinely did not have to pick my own home base being somewhere outside of myself. I can see the value in people saying swim in your own lane. Don't worry about other people thinking of you. Don't compare yourself to other people. I get what that means. I do. But it's like, I see it that my materialism of anything that happens to be outside myself can still be something I can learn from. And it's like, that's how I see the world. But I tend to be the person who's not like, oh, evil, rules, privacy, simplicity. What else is there? Death. And then there's like another one. There's like those that can be self-view as well. The aspects of diabology or some shit. There goes my monetization in 6 minutes. It's all coming. Those items I can listen one more time. Evil, laws, privacy, simplicity, death, stuff like that. Things that you would never compare to each other, but they can coexist. And so like that's the same way I see like coexisting in these other worlds of people, where I know people from the Incredibots forums, my grade schools, MGTOW, nofap seam retention, new tubers, the agorists I know, anarchists, like literally all these. I don't feel that we all literally exist. All of us literally exist, but they don't feel like they're people that I can know in the same way. Like it feels like we're in different universes. It's like, and I'm the same person witnessing all of that at the same time. So I'm like, wow, I never could have imagined that could be with because they both literally are human beings on this earth, and they're still in different worlds on my plane of thinking. So it's like, wow, can that be a thing? Yes, it already is. I made so because I said so. Nah, do that. My video do as I do not as I say to do. The Freebirds and the Freebirds and what's the name of that other show? Be Polly Sherman thumbnail. That thumbnail with the video, the 1 minute video. Watch that one if you haven't. If I haven't linked it already. This has already been again a multifaceted video, but it's basically the idea that connecting various ideas from various videos that made a handful of videos I made in the past, like the home base one where I said I made the home base video on that alt channel. I can link that as well if I can find it somewhere on YouTube. I'm on my other three alt channels of 4. Where the home base does not exist within you or outside of you. It's wherever you make of it. But the idea of the home base being, wherever I mentioned that alt channel. The idea of the home base was basically that if you don't feel like you fit in, it's because you're not supposed to. And that can be facetious in any other way, but like not just according to like the starseed philosophy or starseed beliefs, but like also the idea that you maybe there is a home base we don't realize is there. But even if there was or wasn't one, it wouldn't have to matter as much. That's the idea. That sense doesn't make sense, but that's the point. It's like it's not supposed to. You shouldn't have to look forward to a home base, even if there is one, because then you might abuse it or something. But if you don't want me by home base, the feeling not so much the feeling of following your passion and being content with that, or being content by yourself or with people, whatever else, emotional independence. I made a video about that too. Damn, there's too many. There's like I can only link like 4 videos in the end card of this video, so I'm not gonna be able to like link them all, but or in the description I guess. But the comment section, whatever I do with this video. Oh, speaking of the end card, I guess we're about to end very soon, but like I want to push for 5 more minutes instead of 20 seconds because this is a really interesting video in my opinion. But if I can't push for 5 minutes, I'll go short on another random 20 seconds that you can make the most of. So Oh yeah, well there's one more thing I did want to mention. It was a couple things at least. But it was like one of them was the idea that when your friend tells you that they don't think you were friends, and find out either the easy way or the hard way. The easy way is when you mention it first and you're like, I think we're friends, and then your friend's like, oh yeah, we agree. It's awkward to mention that, but it's true. The hard way is when you have closure at the end of your graduation, or wherever. It doesn't have to be school graduation, any graduation, VTuber graduations are. And at the end of your series finale, you're like, I never thought of us as close friends. Like, what do you mean? We are close friends, right? It's like, well, we never really did much together. It's like, oh shit, we never did much together. That's true. But why did they think we were best friends anyways? Like, no, that's right. They right. And it still sucks, right? So it's like, that's finding out the hard way that your friend doesn't see you as a friend. But like, not even if it was considered in line with bullying or fake friendships or whatever, or fake hugging, whatever, to make of that weird example of that. And here I am wearing this Win the Day shirt, saying all this random plot, irrelevant or not. You're not supposed to really say irrelevant on purpose, because if you say irrelevant on purpose, you're making something that looks too relevant irrelevant in itself. It's like, when you mention something irrelevant by its own focus, you're not necessarily being grammatically incorrect. You're more like being someone who's just weirdly pointing it out as if you know what you're doing. And maybe you do, like me. But you're not supposed to point out irrelevant as the focus. It's a weird grammatical rule or consideration, I guess. If that even could be possible grammatical consideration. Yeah. Or unconventional grammar for where else was described from on end, not just my end, I guess. So the last thing I want to mention, outside of the friendships being misunderstood thing, is that outside of Homebase and the other things I mentioned about being on edge and still knowing what I was doing, not being completely lost in my life, is I think the second thing was more like, how do I know that I feel confused and I still know a lot of the things that most people would die for? And it's like, well, here's the thing. Like I said, easy to be interesting, easy to have a personality, easy to do things that make me be personal and have a personality. Taking that for granted every time. I said that at the beginning of the video. But, like I said, I am confused with these answers or with these questions. Questions and answers I help all the same. And either or. But when I am a confused person, I'm not saying that to deny what I know. I'm saying that to be very, very dead honest. It's like, I know certain things that I don't have to take for granted, but whenever I say I'm confused, please believe me, because it's not that I'm denying what I know or denying some fact of life that should help me more than hurt me. It's not that I don't care about that. It's because whenever I say things like, I pretend to be emotional so that if I don't look emotional, it will look like I'm lying to myself about what's happening. That's not supposed to be a lie in itself. It's supposed to be a truth or a story that I'm trying to convey in a certain way. We can only hope that in reality I'm not giving those examples of simple things and doing too much about them anyways, if that makes sense. And then whatnot. If that gives you too much input in a few seconds over a whole minute, as it would not. But could probably push for the last minute or two. Okay, for the last minute or two, I'm gonna rehearse the erebde10 video. And this is not going to make sense at first, but I'm going to rehearse it as if I know what I'm doing. And I want you to understand what I'm doing very closely after I do that. Because not even I don't know what I'm doing with this. Rehearsal in 3, 2, 1. Just to say, I haven't been on live stream lately. But yeah, I don't care. But just remember that I have been doing these test live streams lately, but I hadn't had much time this spring week to do it. So, and soon enough, I will have these streams ready. Where's the pause button? Oh, here it is. See, that was who I was 13 years ago. And that was not a complete lie, but it looked weird. And it also looked like, it was like, oh, is that me really making a vlog that's that dead down to earth? Well, dead down to earth and freaking like real and authentic to truth. Like, but the video before that being my very first video on YouTube, being the clay pop showcase, and with just those two alone, you could archaeologically discover who I am as a person. You could psychoanalyze that and be like, oh my gosh, this guy not only knows how to produce quality content the first time he's on YouTube, but can actually be real with himself while he's still a kid, let alone as an adult. So it's not that I don't know how to be honest about that. When I say there's no home base, when I say that I know what I'm doing, it's by being lost where I'm not lost. If I am on edge and I still know what I'm doing, I bet that's the